Hey y'all, Kentucky Farmer here, and today we are back on the West Bridge Hills map in my test game for my 16th video about Courseplay. In this video we're going to talk about how to use Courseplay to automate the wrapping of bales for silage. We'll also cover how to automate the collection and transportation of bales with an auto stacker. If you're new to Courseplay and you missed the first 15 videos, you might want to go back and start from the beginning. There's a link in the description to my Courseplay tutorial playlist. So to get started, we're gonna hop into our first tractor here that we've got the bale wrapper already attached to. If you remember from our previous video, we already mowed, tedded, raked, and baled this field in front of us here. And I need some hay bales and some silage bales for my cow. So what I'm actually going to do is I'll wrap about half of this field to make silage, and then we'll go through with the auto stacker and collect all the bales in the field and transport them back to the dairy farm, which is just down the road a little bit from here. And we'll do all this with Courseplay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring up Courseplay. And if you remember from our previous video, we created a Southwest grass field course, so we're going to go ahead and select that course. And then we're going to switch into fieldwork mode. And then we'll go over to the course generation tab. And as you can see, the field edge path is set to the currently loaded course, and if we want to see that, we can turn on all the waypoints over here. And our working width is 3 meters, and if you remember from the previous videos, we did all this at 12.5 meters when we raked and again when we baled. That was all done with a 12.5 meter working width. So even though this obviously isn't 12.5 meters wide, we want to set it to the same width so that it goes up and down the same rows. So we'll scroll up here until we get to 12.5 meters. And then our starting corner is the northwest corner, and we're heading east, just like we did in the previous videos. And for the wrapper, we don't need to return to the first point. We're not going to make a headland, so then we can generate that. Now, if we were to run this course as is, the tractor itself would just drive into the bale. With this, let me turn the tractor on here. With the bale wrapper, let me close Courseplay too, you can see it kind of sticks out to the side a little bit. So we actually need to drive on the left side of the bale so that the wrapper's hanging off to our right side and it can grab the bale and pick it up. So in Courseplay, in order to do that, we come into the driving settings tab, and we're going to change the tool offset horizontal. Now for the bale wrapper and for a normal course like this, I found that about 2.5 meters to the left, so we'll scroll down, 2.5 meters to the left is the correct amount of offset for this tool. I haven't really come up with a good mathematical way to figure that out. I just kind of do a little bit of trial and error. Once he starts driving the course, now we don't have a lot of time because that first bale shows up real quick on our course, but you can set the tractor up to drive a course, and then you can change this offset while they're driving, and you can kind of see how it affects the vehicle. It'll move, you know, one side or the other as you change it, and that's a good way to just kind of dial it in. And the more you use this, the more you'll just kind of know, you know, what's a good width for a piece of equipment, what's a good offset for whatever it is you're doing. So for this, we'll do 2.5 meters left. Now, once we have that all set, we'll actually just come in here to first waypoint and then tell it to drive course. And of course, Courseplay folds it up until it gets to the first waypoint and then unfolds it again. And the nice thing is here with Courseplay running this, it actually picks the bale up, stops, wraps it, and then will drop it in place before going to the next bale. And this is all automatic. I don't have to press any buttons, and it will do all this work for me. Now, if you noticed, it actually just dropped the bale a little bit to the left of where it was before. So when we go to run the auto stacker, if you were picking up unwrapped bales, your offset would be 2.5 meters to the left. But if you're trying to pick up these wrapped bales, your offset's going to be 4.5 meters to the left. And since I'm only going to wrap about half of this field, then the first half here that will be the silage bales, I'll have to run it with one offset, and then as the auto stacker progresses through the field and gets to the regular hay bales, I'll have to reduce the offset so that it's picking them up correctly. But I'll show you that part when we get to it. So I'll just we'll follow along here for a little bit until he gets halfway done with the field, and I'll fast forward the video. Well, the wrapper's out finishing up the last two rows. I'm going to hop in this tractor and I'll start getting the course ready for the auto collector. So the first thing we're going to need to do with the auto collector is we're going to have to record a course for it to use to transport the bales when it gets full back to our dairy farm. So I'm going to come over here because this is basically where, like, right behind me where my trailer is right where the fieldwork course starts and ends. So I'm going to bring up Courseplay, and we're going to tell it to start recording a course. And then we're just going to head off this way. And there we got our third point, so we can start our turn. Okay, and this is where I normally put my bales. I stack some against that barn over there, put some in this field over here. There really isn't a great spot for them at this farm, so what we do here is we need to put a waypoint, and this waypoint is what will tell this tractor to stop and then unload the auto stacker. Now, this creates a bit of a problem, because once it unloads the first time, there's going to be a pile of bales right here. So if it were to come through a second time, it would just drive into the pile of bales. So this gives us basically three options then to handle this. We can kind of pay attention to what this tractor's doing, either watch it on the mini map or follow it, or be here at the farm so that we can see it when it shows up. But we then can intercept the tractor, hop in it, stop it once it gets to this point, move it somewhere where we want to actually unload it. Like I could back it up over here against that barn and unload it over there, come back to the course and tell it to resume driving again. So that's one option. The second option is we can let it auto unload here, and then using the other tractor that's currently out there with a bale wrapper, I can put the bale grips on it and I can pick these bales up and move them while this guy's out auto collecting and stack them where I want them. The third option is if you are just selling the bales anyways, if you're not keeping them for livestock use, if you just want to make them and sell them, you can, just like we did in a previous video, you can have this back into a sale point, and once the auto stacker tips up and unloads, all the bales will just automatically sell into the sell point, and then it can just keep doing that because there won't be anything in the way the next time it comes around. So I won't really show you the third option in this video, but I will do the first two as far as intercepting the tractor, moving it, setting it down where I want them, and then resuming, and then also sitting over here and unloading it with a second, or moving the stacks with a second tractor when I get here. So we're going to go ahead and keep recording our course. And we just need to go back now to the start point of our fieldwork course. Alright, and we'll go ahead and stop this course here, and you'll want to save this course, and I'm going to call this one Southwest Grassfield Offload. I'm going to call it Offload 2 because I already saved one of these while I was testing this out, so we'll call this Offload 2. And then we'll clear the course, and we basically need to run the same course that we used for the rake, the baler, and the wrapper. So what I can do is just copy the course from the T6 that's out in the field working right now. And then, like I mentioned earlier, to pick up these wrapped bales, now they're a little further to the left than the hay bales are after the auto stacker got done with them. So our tool horizontal width, our tool horizontal offset is going to be 4.5 meters to the left. So we'll scroll down here until we get to 4.5 meters. And then we're just going to tell it, and then now that we have our coursework course, we actually need to merge back in our offload course. So to do that, we hit the load course, merge into loaded course button here next to our saved course. As you can see, it shows up there. So now it will drive through the field and pick up these bales until it's full, and then I'll come back here and drive this course, unload, come back here, drive this course, and pick up more bales. So we'll go ahead and tell it, start the first waypoint and drive course. And for this guy, we can actually speed him up a little bit. Do 25. Alright, and it looks like our bale wrapper is almost done here, so we'll catch him and stop him. Because again, I only wanted to wrap about half of this field. So there you can see our stacker is going to go down there. Okay, we got one bale left. Alright, you can see the auto stacker starting to make its way back down to us. Looks like he's got room for about 3 more bales. I'm just going to park this guy over here out of the way, because we're going to want this tractor here to help move those hay bales or silage bales once the auto stacker gets back over here. So now for this first time, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop the driver, and we're going to back this up over here. Alright, and then we can tell it to start the course at the current waypoint. See, it's currently got 1,152 of 1,242 for the waypoint. And then we'll follow this tractor as it goes back over and gets another load of bales. Alright, so now he's picked up where he left off, and he'll keep working his way through the field until he gets another load. Alright, so again, we're gonna go ahead and stop the driver here. I'm gonna back this up over here. And then we will drive course from the current waypoint. Alright, now we need to dial our offset back down. So we're going to scroll up to 2.5 because now we're just going to be picking up regular hay bales. Looks like we got room for one more bale. Alright, and I'm just going to hop out here. And we're going to let him automatically drop those bales over there at that weight point. And then I'm going to move them with this tractor, and he'll go back out in the field and get another load. And hopefully by the time he's full, I'll have these moved. Oh, not off to a good start. Alright. And it looks like he's on his way back with another load, so we got that done just in time. Alright, let's go see how our auto stacker's making out over here. Uh-oh. That was a pretty smooth recovery, though. So that can be one of the issues with the offsets if they're, So he's full now, so he's going to go back and unload. There's only one bale left, so I'm going to help him out here. I'll grab this guy and take it back to the farm. That way he doesn't need to come back out here. But if you remember from the previous videos, when we did this side, there was actually two rows that were really close together. Alright, so here he comes to make the last drop off. We'll go ahead and stop him here since he really doesn't have anything left to go pick up. Alright, so that concludes the 16th video in my Courseplay series. In the next video in this series, I'll cover using Courseplay to automate cutting, raking, and collecting grass for creating silage in a bunker. If you're interested in trying out Courseplay, I'll put a link in the description below to the mod website. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, be sure to click the like button and subscribe for more farming simulator videos. I'm Kentucky Farmer. Thanks for watching.